Hello and welcome to Killing Time. This is the show that might start right now. This is our third attempt at starting. I am Zach Tarn. With me, as always, is the man with the plan, the man who never forgets to spray his pan with Pam. Just Bob. Rob.
I like it.
How is
That's
it going?
new. I like it. Pam.
It's our 150th episode. It only took us 10 years, actually plus 10 years. Here's to 10 more episodes. Or years, or 150 episodes this month. I don't know. And so, you guys may...
What are we talking about?
Today,
for the big 150.
Let's just load this thing up. We've got a spoiler-free review of Jessica Jones. Now, I know you haven't gotten to see it yet.
No, because I'm a regular person.
You're a regular person.
You're special. I'm just regular.
I'm special in lots of ways, but mostly in the way that I get access to screeners early because that's part of my gig now, which is kind of neat. So, Jessica Jones, I got access to the first 5 episodes of Season 2. If you've seen the trailers, I won't spoil anything other than what's in the trailers. Okay, Jessica Jones is in the show. Jessica Jones, very important. Okay, and again,
good to know.
Spoiler-free. First 5 episodes, same kind of tone, very similar to the first season. Great mix of action, violence, comedy. All of the things you've expected already out of Season 1 are continuing in Season 2. And the main crux of Season 2, from the trailers you can tell this, is Jessica trying to find out some more information about her past, her history, her origin. And you know what? I will say, it's really good. Arguably, I think it is the best Marvel television show there is. What do you think about that claim?
I like that claim. I got to say that when I was watching the first season, I mean, with David Tennant as the bad guy, best villain, she's a great character. She's a great actress. You can't help but like her, even though she's not always the most likable person. And she just seems more real than the other superheroes. Even though she has all this extra strength and everything, just the crap that she goes through on a daily basis seems like a regular person kind of thing.
She's definitely way more flawed than, you got Daredevil, you got some issues going on there. You got the Punisher, who's pretty messed up as well. But I think that one of the things that Jessica Jones does well, at least in Season 1, not to give away anything about Season 2, is that she's a three-dimensional character. There are things that are important to her, like sex and alcohol and money and rent.
Yes.
So, she's worried about things that people usually worry about. Plus, she's got a whole world of shit to deal with because she's got powers. So, that's our spoiler-free review. The episodes come out on March 8th, which is a Thursday, which is unusual. Normally, it's on a Friday. But Netflix has decided March 8th is what they're going to do. I don't know why that's the case. I have not talked to them to find out exactly why they're going with this Thursday approach. Maybe March 8th has something to do with a plot point in the show. I haven't seen that part of it, so who knows? I'm pretty excited to watch it. So go watch that on Thursday. Speaking of Marvel, since this is episode 150, we are going to go into a spoiler-full review of Black Panther because you've seen it. I've seen it now 3 times. And let's hit the spoiler bumper. So Black Panther is coming up. First, the warning.
Spoiler.
All right, so Black Panther is a movie by Marvel. You've seen it. What did you think?
I have seen it. I really, really, really liked it. I thought they took without going into too much detail, took a very simple story. We had a long-lost brother, cousin, friend kind of thing. Basic story, usurps the king, and the king comes back and overtakes him, whatever. But they put it in the context of cultural and racial influences and put it into, we see the 90s in a flashback. We see now really good characters, really amazing acting, in my opinion, and just simple but well-contained, beginning, middle, end, and where we can go from here kind of thing.
Yeah, I think one of the best things that Black Panther did was the amount of world building. And I think I mentioned this in the spoiler-free review as well, that the world is way smaller in Black Panther because he's actually globetrotting a bit. He goes to South Korea. We go to Oakland. Actually, he also goes to Oakland. He's in Wakanda. He's everywhere, which is, I think, I don't know if it's not the first time. I know we've had this in some other Marvel movies where we see giant titles saying, "We're now here." But in Black Panther, the speed in which they are traveling from one place to the next is so great. There's a line about the world getting smaller, and that totally fits into the whole theme of Wakanda and trying to decide what exactly is Wakanda's place in the world. Are they to be isolationist? Are they to be the leaders of the world? And it's not a topic that we normally see in a comic book movie. It felt pretty grown up, and it worked really well, I thought.
I thought it was excellent. The way they did pull in the whole him taking over as king, but also Wakanda trying to get into, the world view and how it's becoming part of the world rather than being separate. And even with the extra scene at the end where he's talking to the UN, where it's kind of funny, they think it's still just this small, sheep herder kind of place, where, they have all this to offer the world. And it's also really good character development for him. You see him grow through the course of this movie a lot. Even though it's a short period of time, but just what he has to go through and what he has to deal with, you really see kind of him trying to come to terms with what he wants to do as a king and why he would want to do it.
On top of that, you've got a love story between Black Panther, or not, actually, there's multiple Black Panthers in this movie. So let's go. This is T'Challa I'm talking about.
T'Challa. He's
got his relationship with Nakia, who I keep thinking of as Nokia, and that is not racist. That's just me being a tech person.
Yeah.
So he's got this relationship with her, and she's actually, every single character is extremely strong. Everyone's motivations are laid out. And the fact that you could have any two people on the screen at any given time, and you would want to watch whatever conversations are happening, whatever interactions were happening. And the love story between Nakia and T'Challa is, I don't say it's front and center, but it's not minor, and it's played extremely strong. Two strong characters who do have an admiration for each other. They each have their own thing going for them, and they have their own motivations. It's not just like, oh, I pine for you. I pine for you. Let me hold up a sign that says I love you. None of that crap. It was really well done. Think about one thing, Marvel. Think Pepper Potts and Iron Man. Not that good a love story. You want to talk about Peggy Carter and Steve?
Not so good.
Not really. Sharon Carter and Steve? Not really that good either. This thing actually worked really well. And also, I mean, the two actors, Chadwick Boseman and, oh God, I'm forgetting her name, Lupita Nyong'o were excellent. I mean, the chemistry was amazing, and they were both strong characters, and you could see them. They just had this playfulness and whatnot. It was very good, just excellent. And I think, like I said before, the actors really bring this all together. Michael B. Jordan as the villain Killmonger, excellent. And the way they wrote it, you actually feel for him. You see that this guy's had a shitty life. And it started off really bad, and you see his motivations very clearly from beginning, as soon as you know where he comes from and why he's doing what he's doing. There's a YouTube channel I watch called Captain Midnight. He does some essays on movies, and he described the arc of Michael B. Jordan's character, Eric Killmonger, as the other name for him. And it's essentially it's a guy who tries to go. His father is killed by a corrupt king, essentially, or a king who's shunned him. He's trying to go back to his native land to take back his birthright. And he explained essentially this is the story of a hero. This is a hero's arc. It's what we normally have.
It's the Lion King.
Yeah, and I think Hamlet, I want to say. It's a Shakespearean thing and might be biblical in certain respects. This is a very old story arc.
Old story.
And there's a reason why it keeps getting reused, because it's really good. And again, credit to Captain Midnight for pointing that out, because when I saw it, I'm like, this guy kind of feels like the hero of his own story. That's the idea. We're all heroes of our own story, and this movie essentially has that. Kind of like, you could argue say Baron Zemo was a hero of his own story, but not like this.
Yeah, and truthfully, T'Challa does learn from him in that he changes his view of what he wants to do as a king. Before all that happened, and before, his girlfriend came back and everything, and they were, she wants to go and help the world. He didn't. He wanted to be isolated like his father did. But then through the course of it, at the end, he saw the motivations, of his cousin, Killmonger, and decided he was going to open himself up to the world and help some people who really needed it. And that's what the end of the movie is.
Let's talk about something else. Ryan freaking Coogler. What the hell, man? What's your deal? Are you some kind of genius? What is this? Like, let's see. He's got Welcome to Fruitvale. I think that's Fruitvale Station. There's Creed and Black Panther. Obviously, he gets along with Michael B. Jordan.
Yeah, I know you're a big fan. So,
but for the love of God, man, just knocking it out of the park each time. Yeah. I don't know how the hell he's doing this. I don't care how he's doing this. Keep doing it. Nothing like being excited about a director in a Marvel series because, you know, there is some Marvel formulaic stuff that happens. We have the bad guy potentially dying at the end. I assume he's dead, although they're in Wakanda and they could save him if they want to. But all signs point to death. At least that's the point of the movie. Like, oh, he's died and he doesn't want to be kept captive in jail. Michael B. Jordan's character. And you could see T'Challa respecting that. So you could see the character dying off. But I could also see some of the other members of his cabinet, as it were, kind of deciding to keep him alive for the purpose of jailing him or maybe using him as a war dog in the future or some other way to try to take advantage of the bloodline. Right. So you got this giant freaking ending here, but it's very formulaic. We got a character dying that we shouldn't because I said this before. I think we did this off air. Marvel freaking recycles Human Torches very well. Michael B. Jordan was Human Torch in the Fantastic Four movie that just went and left.
2015. Yeah,
the one that you blinked and you missed it. And then Captain America, Chris Evans, was Johnny Storm in the other version, which I thought was relatively fun. I actually heard or read a story.
I kind of liked it.
I heard a story that there is a Silver Surfer movie coming out of Fox, which is confusing to me. I guess they're starting to pen this. I believe it's written by the guy who did Why the Last Man, which is interesting because if Disney buys it, they would buy this too. So we'll see how that goes. Let's see. Is there any other points we want to hit about Black Panther? It's awesome.
One more thing. I thought it was interesting with the Martin Freeman character, Agent Ross. When he first popped up into the Marvel Universe, he's kind of a dick, so to speak. And people didn't like that, obviously, because Martin Freeman, the actor, people really love, from Sherlock and everything he's done. So I found it interesting that he finally got to do something good in this movie.
Well, I mean, the thing is, we're like I said, that we're all heroes of our own story.
Yeah.
I'm sure in everybody else's story at times, I'm sure in people who are living in my story, they're like, hey, that guy's a dick.
Yeah.
Most of the time he's a dick, but every now and then he's not so bad. I kind of like.
But there's a reason for it.
It didn't feel like they retconned his character or anything, where like he was acting out of character. The Agent Ross character. Have a drink every time I say character. Now you guys are plastered. The Agent Ross character is a military guy. He wants to figure out what's going on. He wants the truth in some respects. He will be good for his government, but he is also kind of beholden to Wakanda and T'Challa because if they saved his life and they saved his ability to walk and all of these things. So for him to move over into this position of courageous defender kind of character is not, I think, beyond the arc of the story. They actually
like you said, it's reasons. It's good character development. You understand why he's doing what he's doing.
Yeah.
But I kind of liked it. And he was very good. I thought he was just kind of an add-on to say, someone from another Marvel movie to connect everything, but he wasn't. There was a reason he was there.
Let's talk Andy Serkis real quick. What'd you think of Andy Serkis?
He served a purpose. He was good. He played the same part, but he served the purpose of elevating Michael B. Jordan as the villain, so to speak. He gave a reason for him to be there, reason for him to be connected to Wakanda, and means to an end for him to get to his end game.
I believe Michael B. Jordan's Killmonger character might be the best Marvel villain we've seen so far. By killing the Andy Serkis character Claw, it upped him right away. It's as if Loki showed up and killed Thanos. You'd be like, okay, something has gone wrong, and something is really important about this guy. And we saw that. Yeah. I didn't see that coming. I figured they'd kind of be buddy-buddy for a while. Yeah. And maybe Claw would drop off. Oh, he drops off all right. They kill him.
He kills him. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and it's like not even, drawn out or anything, just dead. I was like, whoa, they did that.
So that was gutsy. It was very, very good. Last question I want to ask you about this. 3D. Did you watch it in 3D?
I did. I liked it. It was good. was pretty. There's a lot of CG in this movie, not going to lie. Obviously, because of the way that they have flying ships and everything, they have to use a lot of CG. But there was also still some scenes with some just basic fighting, hand-to-hand combat that was awesome, too. So I liked it. And I do think it was worth the 3D.
I agree. I've seen it twice in 3D, one in 2D. I thought 3D really added to it. I don't think you need to see it in 3D, but I think it actually worked very well in this. A big complaint about Marvel movies is that they're kind of dull in color tone. This isn't like a pun. I'm talking about the costumes on this freaking movie, the colors of the costumes, everything is vibrant. It's very different than what we see. A lot of them muted. Think Winter Soldier. That thing is muted, very muted.
Yeah.
But it also fits the tone of the movie. Black Panther, even though he's got a full black costume, he's got a lot of color going on. Both costumes have the kinetic power, so you can see the
kinetic power. Yeah, you see the purple coming. Yeah, it's really good.
Very smart way of making that work. The battle costumes, the celebratory costumes, everything was.
But then again, that's a lot on the director, and we know visually he's always excellent in every movie he's done. I mean, the shots and the thought process that goes into how he takes each shot is amazing, and that's why visually you knew this movie was going to be good.
I wish they never showed us in the trailer that shot that starts off upside down as Michael B. Jordan is walking into his throne.
Yes.
Because that shot in the movie is exquisite. It's beautiful.
Awesome.
It's one of those, like, you know, your first year of like, oh, what's symbolism? Okay, we're starting upside down. This is new normal. Yeah. Loved it.
Yeah, and it was perfectly timed, perfectly placed. It was a good shot. I remember just my jaw hit the floor. I was like, oh, perfect.
You know what we also love? Our patrons, our backers at patreon.com/IS.
Yes.
We want to thank Joe, Michelle, Paul, and Alan. You guys have been sticking with us for a long time. If you're wondering how do these guys keep getting their names on every freaking episode of this show, it's because they donate to our Patreon. They donate a significant amount, actually, $10 a month each month. These guys are freaking awesome. And by the way, if you can't donate $10 per month, don't worry about it. There are lower tiers. There are early access videos, and I've got something that I'm excited to actually be able to release soon, because I had to ask one Will Harris a question about some of these older videos you and I used to do. I asked, hey, do you know what happened to the rights to these things? He goes, oh, well, that company got bought and sold so many times, I think you're in the clear. So I have mined my hard drives. I have found a significant amount of older videos we've done in the past that are weird, odd, interesting, and I'm going to release them first on Patreon, and then maybe they'll be related or release to everybody else. But if you back our show, and you don't have to give us $10 a month, you can give us whatever you want. If you reach the patron level, you'll get early access to the archives, maybe exclusive access. I'll figure that out, because I've got way too much content, and it's ridiculous. My favorite one is still Run P. I'll explain that in the future, because I forgot that we did it. And it
was awesome.
There's that. And we're going to wrap up with one more review. Let's talk about Batman Gotham by Gaslight. It's a new animated Elseworlds tale. It's actually based on the book. Apparently, the book was the first Elseworlds tale. I did not know that. Yep. Did you hear about that?
Yep, I did know that. Yep, and I love the book. I remember when it came out, I was all over it, because two things I love: Batman and Jack the Ripper stories. So you put those two together, I'm a big fan.
Yeah, that and Gotham by Gaslight, by the way, very important. Rated R. It's animated, but It's rated R. So if you're like, oh, I think it's fine, I'll let my kids watch this.
No.
Absolutely not. No. Now, what did you think of the movie? The voice of Batman is played by and Bruce Wayne. Sorry if I spoiled that, by the way, that they're the same guy. They're the same guy, Bruce Wayne and Batman. And also, by the way, one of the reasons I had to cut real fast is because Warner Brothers and CW sometimes get a little bit antsy on the claims. So I'm going to go back and forth like, hey, look, real quick. Okay, back to me. So Bruce Greenwood is the voice of Bruce. That's actually very handy, isn't it? Both voices. And he's, I think, very good.
I thought he was very good. I thought I was going to hate him, because I usually don't love him in most of his roles, but he did a really good job. I thought he pulled off both roles really well, and it didn't take away from the movie for me at all.
Okay, so what do you think about, spoiler-free, what did you think about the animation style, the fact that, I think this is a bit of a spoiler, most of this will be spoiler-free, but from the trailer you know this, that they are taking place in American Gotham instead of it being in London. So everyone's got an American accent, which I thought was a little strange. But what did you think of the movie overall?
I liked it overall. I mean, I really enjoyed. I enjoyed, the period piece, putting Batman back in a time when the technology wasn't all front and center, and he had to make do with lesser technology, but still getting things done. It's an interesting story. I loved the comic book, like I said, because putting him in a different time is very interesting. I did actually like they changed. I'm not going to spoil it, but they changed the plot a little bit from the actual comic book, and I thought some of the changes they did were good. I really enjoyed it. It's one of the better animated movies, in my opinion, as far as keeping my interest. Good voice actors. Nobody really took away from the plot for me, and like I said, I liked where it was set, how it was drawn, the voice actors. I thought it was pretty good. I flew through it. It's like an hour and 20 minutes, easy watch, and I was entertained.
Yeah, I was worried that I wasn't going to like it because of the Killing Joke, that it added this extra bit of, nonsense stories that wasn't part of the original story. And I had to go back to see how long the actual book was. I actually re-downloaded it, the Gotham by Gaslight. I think it's around 60 pages or so. So it's close to the runtime of the movie. I would have liked it to be more of the Mike Mignola style, because that's super angular, super harsh. But in this, it's more rounded. It's not exactly the Bruce Timm style. It's like Bruce Timm meets anime meets American. It's not exactly an easily definable style when you're looking at it. So
no, I think it was kind of what they've done before, tweaked a little bit to change it to kind of fit a period kind of thing.
And I think the voice acting was fine. I thought that the plot and just the story itself was extremely strong.
Yeah.
As I'm watching it, as they're building up to the end of the film, my brain is like, why is this not live action? Because this would really work. And the end set piece, this is not a spoiler, is phenomenal. It's a really great end set piece. I would love to see this in live action.
Yeah.
It was just so big, and the stakes were high. And because it's an Elseworld story, it can go anywhere. And
it doesn't matter.
And they used it. So.
Oh my God! Yes, they used it with who they decided was the bad guy.
It was a great take on the stories, and I go back and forth on the DC Extended Universe, which is turning 5 this year in the films. We've got this bifurcation of television and movies. We also have the animation wing, which is completely different.
Mm-hmm.
There's that rumor that they're going to do a film of the Joker with Scorsese and DiCaprio or whoever else would be attached to it. That's not placed in the same Extended Universe. I think maybe if they went with the Elseworlds approach, it wouldn't be the worst thing, because I would have loved, I don't care who played Batman in this thing. Like, it wouldn't, is it Ben Affleck? Maybe it is Bruce Greenwood. Let's actually use him too. He's still relatively fit. Whoever the actor would be, if the story demands the character, let's go with it. So I think Warner Brothers in general has got some kind of issue when it comes to their movie franchise world thing or universe.
Yeah. Well, speaking in generalities, I think these production companies in general have a problem that they're trying so hard to create these worlds that it's taking away from the movies a little bit. They're trying so hard to connect all these movies together in this special world that you sometimes take away from how good a movie could be.
Yeah, and it's showing it's a bit of impatience because they want these things to move very fast. On top of that, you get these somewhat incomplete stories because these studios are saying, hey, look, this will make sense in 5 years. But that's a really big ask, okay?
Yeah.
Like, at least Game of Thrones, while it's very convoluted, it was showing up every week. It asked for an hour of your time, and it came to you. You paid for a subscription, but it kept coming to you. Yeah. This kind of ask to say, hey, look, watch a movie every year, maybe 2 a year. It'll all make sense in year 5. Don't worry about it. We'll all tie it together. Yeah. Or we might go backwards and totally do everything again. That's where the problems are lying right now.
Yeah.
And Marvel and Disney has shown a lot of patience to build with the start with Iron Man. It's like, let's use
10 years ago. Yep.
Let's use a C-tier guy. That's right. Iron Man was he was in the Avengers and everything.
Yeah, but he was not as big a name as he is today before those movies.
Yeah, and he didn't have a Macy's Day float. Spider-Man did. Okay.
Yeah.
He did have a 90s cartoon which was ridiculed, but the 90s cartoon that was good was Batman and was X-Men. Those are the good ones. So again, in their infinite wisdom, they went with Marvel. They went with Iron Man, and it worked. It's patience. Meanwhile, Warner Brothers, I don't want to go off the complete tangent, which you already have. Warner Brothers has Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, The Flash, and they biff it. What's it say?
Yes.
That being said, I don't think I can top that. I think we'll be back.
I think we gotta end on that. They biff it.
We'll be back in a week or so. Subscribe at youtube.com/finitecomedy. If you're like, hey, you guys put ads all over this thing. There's like a thing on the bottom. There's a pre-roll or whatever else. This is a podcast. You can get this for free with no ads. And you can also change the speed over there, too, if you want to. You can listen to the audio only. If you're like, hey, where are the newer episodes? This lazy guy is going to get it up because we've got the 150 episodes. Get them automatically on the site. I'm very excited about this. We're going to keep doing this show until we're dead, or the show is. One of those two. That got really violent. Let's biff things and kill things. Anyway. We'll see everybody next time on Q&A Time. Here's the outro for you.
Bye-bye. That was awesome.
150.